Starting to the top left, we have the Terran player for Axiom-Acer. It is their last player today, the last man standing for them. It is the one and only
Acer Innovation.
Innovation. More than 50 maps played in this matchup, a 50% win ratio. And he lost. He lost to his opponent, a Dream at Bucharest, back in September. Starting to the top right, we have him, the last player for Team AZUBU in this ace match here.
AZUBU Supernova.
Supernova with a victory over Alicia, bringing us into this ace match now. If he loses this game, then we will have the super ace match, a best of one to decide the GSTL champion. But if Innovation loses now to Supernova, then it's all over.
We have gas for both players taken at the same time. No rush here. No quick Banshee play. Just standard, safe, Terran versus Terran. Gas is finished now. We are close spawns by air, close by Bridge of Doom as well. Not something that will necessarily come into play unless one of the players goes bio. And we see engagements at the third bases. But this is tense. This is definitely tense. And we're going to be following this every step of the way. Now what it looks most likely to happen is both players go for a Reaper. And that's exactly what's happening. The scout time is identical. Who's going to scout better first? Who's going to get luckier? This is actually a really big, important first step to see who gets the lead here. And they're both scouting incorrectly to the south.
Both going to the south now. And just to complete things here, Supernova has a 73% win ratio in the matchup, but he has only about half of the games that his opponent played. But still, 14-5. He won against Young recently, against Innovation, against SC, against Bomber. He lost the match against Ryung though.
He did.
Ryung not the player that we are seeing in this ace match, and I think it's a justified choice. Ryung by no means a bad player, but his recent results here.
Who shoots first? Who shoots first?
Oh, and
a little bit of hesitation here actually by Innovation. And he may lose his Reaper as a result of this. I don't think he will lose it, but he will actually have his second Reaper for the defense. But now this is the point where Supernova knows, okay, I know my opponent's starting location. Does he have a CC? That's all I need to see. He's actually running, he will see it. He's going to try to deny it.
Innovation already moving back with the Reaper here.
Yeah.
Showing himself. You could actually argue like he's showing that he is a little bit timid at this point. There's so much pressure on his shoulders right now, and for good reason.
Oh no, 2 versus 1 here. Innovation with that defender's advantage.
Comes back with a vengeance.
He will escape. Very tense here. With a build orders identical like this is bound to happen. Second gas done for both factories at the exact same time, commanders at the exact same time. This is as mirror as a mirror matchup gets. This is like a 2010 TDT with how close it is. No variation.
The more mirror match we see, the more it comes down to the individual unit control, and this is where Innovation is just such a master. But Supernova has shown us great games against Startail, against everyone that he beat in the just recent past. He's just so good, and he has so much momentum.
We have our first variation. We have a double factory coming down for Supernova. He starts a second factory and hides it, and a tech lab. I think we're going to see Marauder Hellion here as his build order of choice. Innovation, on the other hand, goes into the standard starport.
And there
this
we
is
have
actually
the tech lab.
so rare. Supernova is the master of builds, and Innovation is the master of unit control and late game. And these two things collide. We can have an epic match. Can Supernova pull this off? Will Innovation scout this? I don't think so. It's in such an inconspicuous spot. It's right behind the mineral line at the natural.
It's just amazing to see that Supernova in every single game that he played within the last 2 weeks always tried to show something different, something new. We're not going to see any Marauders here. He's just going for the tech level on the low ground and repositions his factory now. Gets the Blue Flame Hellion upgrade already.
So he is going heavy Blue Flame. We'll have some medevacs with that starport going down to go for drops. So it's not going to be a timing attack of any kind. I thought maybe when I saw the tech lab, he was just going to try to get a siege tank lead early. It looks like he's really wants to come in.
On the other hand, can do so much damage. If that drop hits with a Blue Flame Hellion upgrade, and you are not paying attention to the minimatch just for a second, suddenly you have Hellions in your main base doing damage against the SCVs, and with Blue Flame, you can do so much. If you cripple the economy, Supernova gets that one medevac into position.
This is actually something that could be a very big problem for Innovation because he's expecting the expected. He's getting his Raven out because he's like, the most popular build right now in TVT for aggression is Banshees. I got my Raven for detection. I've got a Viking out to shoot your Banshee once it comes in. And Supernova actually gets away with the Scout. He sees all of this. Oh my god, and Innovation just needs to make sure that he is staying at home, is not out of position when the attack comes, because if his Hellions are on the other side of the map, that's terrible. Blue Flame Hellions against regular Hellions, the regular Hellions actually do okay, depending on how the shots line up, so
the
as
Vikings,
long as he's at home.
That's on the other hand an issue. If the Vikings are well positioned, and I feel they will be, then Supernova should run into one right away. We have also Vikings for Supernova, but it's basically going to be a Viking versus a Viking. Then you have the Raven as well, who could just drop point defense drone if there's enough energy. But here we go. He's trying to go in at the front. Not spotted just yet.
Yeah, there's no way he just runs up there. Yeah, he scouts the Reaper, and here we go!
And these shots were amazing! He gets great shots off, and everything that Innovation has just goes down in flames, literally.
This actually could end the game. He has so many Hellions here, and there's not a whole lot for the defense. Red Flame Hellions coming in from the back. Auto turret goes down. The Viking is landed, but he is in the main.
To be kidding me! Supernova! He goes into the main base and he wreaks havoc. He's taking down Harvesters already. He killed 14 by now, and he still has units there. He took down Hellions, he took down Harvesters, he takes down even more. He tries to end it here. Supernova with the moves, and Innovation blindsided.
Supernova got the best shots possible on that first engagement. Innovation hesitated for a second. Panic was on move command, wasted a second, got a second shot on first, and then of course it's Blue Flame versus Red Flame when the first shots were the best. That's always going to be, you know, something where you could just ignore the defender's advantage. So 10 Harvester lead advantage for Supernova now. He still has the better Hellion count. He's got his own Viking, or rather Raven out, and his Viking. And from here, he just has map control, and he's going to keep it. The game is not over, but he has a pretty big lead.
He has a really good position here. He's the aggressor. He's the one who determines the pace of the game. He took so much damage out on his opponent. Everything was going down flames. The Hellions just lined up beautifully for Supernova. He came in from the right angle. He killed 19 Harvesters. This was a really amazing move by Supernova. And Innovation, I mean, he has to play defensive right now. He has to just sit there. And it's also it's screw with his mindset here. That's what's gonna happen here. He lost yesterday against Ragnarok, and now he's behind, and that could do a number on him.
You know what's interesting is Innovation had a better siege tank count, and he's very aware of this. And the opposite was true. Of course, Supernova had the better Hellion count. So he actually stopped siege tank production briefly here to turn on full Hellions, because he realized, I need to get my Hellions out here. I need to catch up with my Hellions, then I'll switch back to siege tanks. And I respect that choice, because without them, you know, the Hellions of your opponent can actually just wipe out your Hellions so fast, because he has Blue Flame first, and then when there's nothing to buffer for the siege tanks, it just doesn't matter. So Innovation with a fleet out here, actually just searching, trying to find something to do some damage to.
Well, he found the Hellions at least. Supernova took out Alicia already. Now he's up against Innovation. We have him with a superior number in Hellions, of course. That's actually Innovation, that is. We have in total army supply Innovation ahead of his opponent. It's just the worker supply that we have.
He already said for a little while there.
He wants to go out and do damage. He has the superior army. It's just the economy where he's really lacking. So given time, that will give Supernova an advantage. But right now, if Innovation has good unit control, he can do a lot here. The siege tank's very important. 5 against 2 in favor of Supernova.
He's trying to sneak around. Supernova doesn't know.
Uh-oh.
Supernova knows now. He needs to turn around, but his siege tanks are out of position, which means they can't siege up ideally. And now that one tank isolated by itself will go down. The rest of the tanks cut off here. And he's sieged up on top of the ramp.
What a great position here for Innovation. Those two siege tanks are doing work. They're doing damage. And we have Hellion versus Hellion. The supply for them is dead even. And it is Supernova goes down to 10 supply army. Innovation with the perfect position to go in, turns things around. He cut SCV production, went for the aggression, and he's going to take that game.
He certainly will. I think this is definitely the end. He's got all the production camped. He's killing every last SCV.
GG! We are going to the Super match.
Oh my god, what a crazy game. The lead starts. The lead starts with Supernova, and the game finishes with Innovation.
Crazy. Wow, Supernova with that start into the game, and Innovation. He just cut SCV production, he went full army, he went in, and Supernova moving out, which allowed Innovation to get into that spot. If Supernova would have stayed at home and would have seen this early, he would have just sieged up with his 5 tanks against 2, and he would have been absolutely fine.
And this is something that Innovation predicted, right? He's played so many games, he's played so many TVTs. He has that experience to say, I think you're going to move out because you have this lead and you're going to try to capitalize on that. So he hid his Hellions, put his Vikings and his Raven out first, it looked like he was just randomly searching around the map. But when you look at when the plan comes together, he was trying to find out where Supernova's Vikings were so that he could find a place where he could hide his Hellions, go for that attack where he catches the Siege Tanks out of position and controls his opponent's own ramp with Siege Tanks.
Wow. What a game. After taking down Alicia, it looked so good for Supernova. Now he was taken out, but we might see him again.
Yeah, we actually could. I would not be surprised.
Is it going to be Symbol? Is it going to be Supernova? It has to be one of the two.
It really does, and I hope we don't have a 5-minute break. That's all I'm saying, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, we actually don't know.
I think it's going to be Supernova again.
I think so too. Symbol looked earlier like he was really affected by the loss.
Yeah.
And he was taken down by Alicia, but he looked really affected by it. And you know, Supernova, you can argue that with a little bit more luck, with a bit of a better position, with just one more scan, a unit somewhere that spotted the move out of Innovation would have won this game.
Yeah, if you put those players back at the same point in that replay where Innovation moved out and cut SV production, and Supernova, you put that in Supernova's hands, he would win that game like 99 out of 100 times.
I mean, he's behind, or Supernova is ahead in economy. He has 5 siege tanks against 2. If he is at home when that push starts and sieges up his tanks and Innovation doesn't break through and wins the game right there, then it's over. Then he doesn't have the economy, he doesn't have anything to fall back to. He just went into a trap. But he got the perfect position against the army of Supernova that moved out, and he absolutely capitalized that, and then he demolished Supernova. When Supernova saw that with his own units, he was like, oh my god, I have to go back home. But he had to walk up a ramp, and there were siege tanks already sieged up that could fire at the choke point, and that took him out. It was just a loss-loss situation for Supernova.
Yeah, loss indeed. I'm so impressed with Innovation's decision-making here to cut siege tanks, go into Hellions, hit that timing. No more SCVs, and Axiom-Acer's got to be breathing a sigh of relief because Innovation was down in this game.
Yeah.
And he was able to come back and win it, and win them the second half of this very important finals, where now we go into the Super Ace match. And I really feel we're going to see the same match again.
I think it's going to be the Terran versus Terran.
Because for Innovation, he's just obviously the better choice. He's the place they've already used for Ace. Supernova almost beat him now, so he's also a pretty good choice.
I mean, anyone else than Innovation for Axiom-Acer would be the sickest mind games ever. They are predicting Supernova. I think most people predict Supernova right now. It could be Symbol, but Symbol looked really shaken by the loss that he suffered early. And it looked more and more that Supernova is the one who has the better mindset, who is like really stable and can deal with the pressure that is now on this game. So if it's Supernova, then maybe Axiom-Acer trying to counter him with someone else. But this is so close.
This really is. It's intense. It's hard to call, who's really at an advantage here. Both players were neck and neck in that last game. The bullers were basically the same. And there's a shot of Innovation himself behind us there on camera. It's hard to say if, will they want to take a chance of playing somebody else against Supernova? I just do not think so.
I think it's the TVT.
Why risk it,
I really think it's the TVT.
Everything that both these teams have done this whole season, every game they've played, every match they've played, all comes down now to a best-of-1 between 2 ace players.
Sending out Symbol, he's strong. He can win against Innovation, but it's Innovation's best matchup, even though he lost against Ragnarok yesterday. But that happens in a best-of-1. In a best-of-1, you can't win them all. You're going to lose eventually at some point. But now with Symbol, after he lost earlier, and Supernova, he had that game, basically.
Yeah.
Innovation just made this one move. He put everything on one card, and he won. That Supernova can do it, and his team saw it. So I feel it's just going to be a discussion between Supernova and Symbol, and the coaches sitting down and saying, like, all right, guys, who do you think is going to be? The map, of course, is also a big point. We do not know the map yet.
Exactly. So everything is kind of up in the air. It's all a big mystery, and I just want to get it started, man. I think... there's a few players that it could be instead of both these players, especially on the AZUBU bench. But I feel like with all the hype here, the fact that he's expecting to play against Innovation before, prepared TVT, I'm sure. For Supernova, I think it's just going to be him again. He almost did it already. He looked in that game. He's going to look back at it and say, yes, I can beat this guy. I messed up. I made a mistake. He made a clever move. But I definitely want to play against him again. The question is, does he have another build order plan? Because he's already shown one build order against Protoss, one build order against Innovation. Now what's he going to do?
Well, he said that he has a lot of different build orders that he wants to show, and that he's not only limited to one. I also think that with his unit control and experience, he's definitely on par with his opponent there. But it's just going to be it's about pressure, in my opinion. It's about the mindset. If you fall behind, or if you at some point in the game you think, oh my god, I'm behind, I might lose this, and you can go for a move like Innovation did, but it's just so easy to get fooled by this and to find themselves in the mind where they think, oh my god, I lost it already.
Yeah.
And you need to have the stale mindset to really go through that. The added pressure is just insane. There's one thing if you play in front of a camera, if you're used to playing in the booth, but then suddenly everything is down to one map. And dealing with this is so difficult. And we have a map hosted, by the way. I don't know what it is. I can't read it from here.
I can't either.
So I'm not quite sure what the map is, but we should see the players pretty soon.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's just, if it's anything else than the TVT, I'll be shocked. But no matter what it is, it's all down to this. It's the last match. It decides everything. The first place will be decided by one single best of one between two ace players.
I could understand Symbol, but I think it's going to be the Terran versus
I think so too. I don't think...
It would shock me, though, if it's not Innovation that plays for Axiom-Acer.
Yeah.
That would absolutely shock me.
That would be a big mind game, like you said before.
Yeah. That would basically them really trying to counter someone. If they think that Innovation is, let's say, countered by Supernova, if they risk it. But do you want to risk it in this situation?
No, I don't think so. Never.
Guys, we are having the player pick, so let's see who's going to play that last best of one of the day. It is going to be Innovation versus Supernova.
Supernova. A trick there with the symbol pick, but it's not him.
Here we go again.
Another Terran versus Terran. The final match. Everything is decided here.
Bring it, I'm ready.
This is actually as hyped as it could possibly be, man. We went to the 7th match on the 2nd day, and then we went, of course, to the Super Ace match with these two excellent players, Innovation and Supernova, in a Terran versus Terran.
Look at Alicia. Just look at Alicia there.
I bet he looks like every single fan who's watching this at home right now. How much more exciting could this be? Even the music is exciting, man.
Yeah.
I'm like getting pumped.
Sleep is the only one who's like, yeah, guys, I didn't even have to play. Oh my god, Alicia is absolutely, I mean, he can't deal with the pressure. Look at Symbol here, praying basically.
It all comes down to this, guys. I would not want to be in either of these players' shoes right now.
This is insane. This is so good.
Oh, he took that.
Oh, ho, ho.
He took that sign and ripped it apart.
I hope Total Biscuit is watching. He has to send him a uniform, I feel, or at least a hat.
I'm sure he is watching.
Biggest Axiom-Acer fan out there.
He has to be watching. If you're not watching, if you know somebody who's not watching, first of all, get him diagnosed with whatever's ailing him, because he's got some issues. But then actually put him in front of the TV with you. Send him a link to the stream. Tell everybody they need to get to GOMTV.net to watch the exciting and epic conclusion to what we've done all season here. It first was down to 5 teams. Then there were 2, and there was a best of 3. We're going to the third part of this best of 3, which is the Super Ace match, the best of one that decides everything.
This is so crazy. Supernova gets his second chance. He gets a second chance here, and Axiom-Acer, they're just looking at this. They can't even watch. Young is sitting on the bench. This is too much pressure. All of them are watching this, and they can't do anything anymore. It's out of their control. Ragnarok is just looking at the screen. It's like, yeah, boys, I would have beaten him again, but we have sent out Supernova here. Sorry, Innovation. Well, whatever.
They sent out Supernova, yeah.
They sent out Supernova versus Innovation. I can't handle this anymore.
It's too much hype, man.
I want to have this game right now. Innovation looks super calm and collected. Supernova, on the other hand, he looks like nothing worries him in the world.
There's Boom Boom actually looking pretty quiet for once, too. And this is indeed a crazy game that we're about to watch. I wanted this to get started, because if it doesn't, my blood pressure's gonna rise too much, man. Like, I don't know what's happening. Everybody's putting their hats on.
One mistake is all it needs to lose this year. Look at the coach. How many times has he said that he is worried, that he didn't think his team could really perform this well, that he was surprised by how well they played, that it was just so great how they always came back into series that were basically already lost, that they were able to take down Innovation. He didn't expect them to take the first day like this, and now they are in the ace match. They were so worried about the elimination system that we had today in our match, because he said, like, I don't know how we're going to beat Innovation. I don't know how we're going to do this. Then it looked like they were able to do it. Symbol losing that crucial game against Alicia. Then suddenly Supernova going for the no worries, taking down the Protoss player and looking so strong against Innovation.
It looked like
and
he was
then
going to do
mistake.
it. Yeah, just one mistake. Like you said, when a best of one mistake is all it takes to cost you that. And now we're not only just in a best of one anymore where Supernova could have won the whole thing. Now he could lose everything. You know, he was at the point where all he needed to do was just play safe and win that TVT. Moved out. He saw he had a lead. He wanted to capitalize on it, and that's exactly what Innovation was ready. You basically flipped a trap card, and he jumped back, caught him off guard, controlled his high ground, and that's how it goes in TVT. With those compositions that are so strong, so powerful, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you lose the game.
I have to say one thing, though. I love Supernova's play lately.
Yeah.
What we see out of him is just not really good macro or micro or having like very crisp builds. It's like having always something different, always a new build, always a new strategy, a new edge over his opponent, a little trick up his sleeves, coming in from a different angle with those Blue Flame Hellions, just changing things up a little bit. It's so innovative.
Yeah.
That's why the matchup is actually like kind of
ironic.
It's a little bit ironic,
Yeah.
The innovative play that we see out of Supernova is just crazy. And this makes him so dangerous. And Innovation knows that, of course.
Yeah. Then actually, Supernova for me is actually, I mean, I just actually like 6 times because I'm actually really excited about what we're going to see. But Supernova is my favorite player that we've seen in round 2 of the GSTL. He's the player to watch for me. And
he and Ragnarok.
Yeah, he and Ragnarok have really made a name for themselves for this season. Well, I look at Supernova's play, and I don't see just solid play. He's not a zombie or a robot. He's not just, finding one build that's the best one for him and just making little tinkerings. He has, like, so many builds, it's almost as if before he plays, he spins a dial, and whatever it lands on is what he does.
All right, apparently we need someone to still prepare for the game, so we're actually heading into a game, into a break first. Guys, more suspense before we head into the final game of the day. See you in a bit. Players are going to prepare as soon as they're ready. We are going to jump into this match. We're going to see you soon here at the GSTL finals with Supernova versus Innovation.